Crawford thing because he's stronger. He's strong and he's powerful and he has different like punch angles and stuff like that he throws.
The fantasy fight between Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford has been the talk of the town, and the fight world is going crazy about it.
Floyd against Crawford.
That's a good one, you know what I'm saying? Because you got the old GOAT great, you know what I'm saying, against the new GOAT great.
Come on, let's be real. If these two ever step into the ring together, fans will see a fight that'll go down in history. Yep, boxing pros are already making predictions about the dream fight. So without further ado, let's get into all the deets of the potential hyped bout.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Jim Lampley shared his 2 cents on the bout as soon as Terence and Floyd started making rounds on the internet together. The longtime boxing commentator was hella excited talking about the potential fight. Ever since Terence Crawford's complete dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., there's been little question about Crawford's all-time great status. The fight world can't help but wonder if he would be able to take down the boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. Now, if you ask Jim whose side he's on, he can't decide because it's definitely going to be a close one. The commentator first went on about how Terence became the new dog of the fight world by showing Spence his place in the ring. He said, Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself, or the understanding that he was more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales. And that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. Lampley also said that Mayweather's one-sided wins and beatdowns were much more of a paint job than what Crawford put together. He added, Floyd Mayweather is an all-time great. Terence Crawford, I think, will turn out to be an all-time great. So it's very hard to pick, and I think it would depend on what moment in Mayweather's career and what moment in Crawford's career are we talking about that taking place. I'll have to agree with him on this one, because this is a hard one. Come on, Floyd's a freaking genius, and Terence is proving to be a force to be reckoned with in the game. Lampley wasn't the only one, though. Other pros also jumped on the bandwagon to share their take on the fight, including Shakur Stevenson. Shakur was going on and on about how legendary a fight between these two would be. And when asked who he thinks will take the win home, the pro boxer couldn't make up his mind. He said, I think that's interesting. It depends on what Floyd is in the ring. There are different versions of Floyd. He then went on about if Terence fought the version of Money Mayweather that fought Canelo Alvarez, then he'd have a tough time coming out on top in the ring. But it's still hard to say anything because Bud is a southpaw. He can punch with both hands, and it would only take one mistake from Floyd for him to take home the victory. This isn't a fight you can make up your mind for because anything can go down in the ring. But don't get me wrong though, because some of these pros know what they're talking about and they're picking sides without hesitation. Oh yeah, Shane Mosley's take is quite different as he made a bold prediction for the fantasy fight. During an interview with The Art of Dialogue, Mosley analyzed Crawford's fighting style and compared it to his own. He said, Crawford has the same mentality as me. He is hungry, and he is going to come after you. Now, the former boxer wasn't undermining Mayweather's skill at all. Oh, he knows that Floyd's won to give Bud a run for his money. But as someone who's way past his prime and going after someone who's doing better than ever, yeah, it might not end well for Mayweather, and that's exactly what Mosley said. Mosley then pointed towards Crawford's physical advantages, like long arms, brute strength, and southpaw stance. He also said, he doesn't care about the Philly defense style, whatever style. He doesn't care about that. He's just trying to get you. Yeah, Shane believes that Crawford is stronger and more powerful, which is exactly why he's giving this win to him. And it's not only him backing Terence up. Bud's own trainer, Brian McIntyre, thinks he'll take the legend down with ease. Now I know exactly what you're thinking. Of course, Brian is biased towards Bud, but come on, if someone out there knows Crawford's full potential in the ring, it's Brian. And if I were you, I wouldn't take his words with grains of salt. Brian talked to TalkSport about Bud being one of the new dogs in boxing. The trainer said, Terence is the best. He's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. He was then asked who he thought would win between a prime Mayweather and a prime Crawford, to which he replied with Crawford, with no hesitation. He's the guy who trains Bud and he knows how he can put his gloves to use in the ring. He added, Terence has that dog in him. Terence didn't get to where he is now overnight. It's taken years and years. Now he did admit that Mayweather would be the smarter one out of the two in the ring, but Bud will take the victory home because he's got more dog in him. Terence Crawford wants to go down as one of the best boxers the world has ever seen. And for that, he really needs to prove himself against big names. And the one name he keeps getting paired with is, of course, Mayweather. Oh, the boxing world would kill to see a showdown between these two. It's been making headlines for weeks, with the two potential opponents even taking shots against each other. There's a heated debate on Twitter because Terence versus Floyd has the fight world divided up like no other. Stuart Robeson chimed in with his take, and he believes that those thinking that Mayweather Jr. would knock out Terence Crawford are living in a fool's paradise. People who are all saying Mayweather would smother him are absolute idiots. Crawford made Errol Spence look like an amateur in that last fight. He would give Mayweather a very tough fight with his technical ability. On the other hand, Scott Devlin said it's a clash that sits on the fence, but he did point toward Mayweather when asked to pick sides. There's more. Take the word from Jackie McCall, who believes that there's no one on Mayweather's level, and Bud's giving himself too much credit by thinking he'll take the boxing legend down. Without a doubt, Floyd the Dodge King Mayweather wins this easily and in the most boring fashion ever. John Patrick Cummings in the same boat as him. He said, "Have to go Mayweather because he beat better people, but Crawford gives any fighter ever nightmares." Everyone knows that Crawford's got what it takes to give Floyd a hard time in the ring, but it'll be a stretch for me to say he'd take an easy win home. But if you ask the man himself, oh, he's walking around with too much confidence. After beating the hell out of Errol Spence Jr. in the biggest fight of his career, Bud believes that he's all that in the boxing world. And in all respect, he's got every reason to do so. Come on, I'm sure you saw his epic performance in the ring, and it had been a while since the boxing world had seen someone put on such a fight. Well, now this guy thinks he's invincible. When asked whether he'd be able to beat Mayweather in his prime, Terence said that'd he take down any legend from the past with ease. Now don't get him wrong, he's not saying he's the best there's ever been in the sport, but Bud believes boxing has evolved a lot since Floyd Mayweather or even Mike Tyson last stepped into a ring for a pro fight. Terence believes that boxers go through much more intense training now, which puts them on a whole other level. This is exactly why Bud has been calling out and begging Mayweather to put up gloves against him. The fight world can only imagine how epic it would be if Money Mayweather actually came out of retirement for this one. Mayweather and Crawford's beef is the boxing world's new hot topic, and these two really need to settle the score in the ring, right? Too bad we might never find out who's the better fighter out of the two, cause as far as I can see, this matchup isn't seeing the light of the day. So all we can do now is make predictions and keep our fingers crossed. So there you have it, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to like this video, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.